one God. Christ is in our midst.
He is and ever shall be.
Girls, stay right there in the back, okay, so you can hear. So today is the great feast of the entrance of the Theotokos into the temple. Now, if you recall, well, before I say that, let me say something else. When the celebrant of the liturgy is getting ready to go into the Holy of Holies. So this is the Holy of Holies. He says, and maybe you heard it last week, because whenever a bishop serves, they do it during during Orthodox, when everybody's listening. But most of the time it's done before. We do the cherubim prayers. And those prayers are, how can we say it? Preparatory to enter into timelessness. To enter into a time and a place where there is no time and place. So we say, have mercy on me, O God, for devoid of all defense, we sinners offer unto thee as Master this supplication. Have mercy on us. See, it's a prayer of emptying yourself. It's a prayer of, I'm going into the holiest of places, and who am I? In fact, the last one is, when we go in, we enter, we say, how can I, the unworthy one, come into the Holy of Holies and touch the spotless garment, Whew. So this theology of the Holy of Holies is with us from the beginning. Nobody in the Old Testament could go into the Holy of Holies, like into the little tent that housed the Ark of the Covenant, which held the law and a few other holy items. No one could go in there, and certainly no one could touch them, or they would die. The whole earth would swallow them up, or their hand would wither. And you have a lot of stories in the Old Testament of when anybody went and touched anything holy, went into the Holy of Holies especially. Amazing. They did not last after that. So then by the time of Solomon, by the time after David, and they building this huge temple, now you have all of those holy vessels, all of the law and everything placed inside of the Holy of Holies in the temple. The Ark of the Covenant inside of the temple, inside of the Holy of Holies of the temple. So this Holy of Holies was a holy place. And as you heard in the reading, only the high priest was allowed to go in there, into the Holy of Holies. Only the one high priest. And he only did that one time a year to pray for the sins of all the people. Every year he would do that. And he would make an offering. They used to sacrifice animals for the sins of all the people. It was a very profound and repentant, penitentiary prayer in the Holy of Holies. But most of the time they did it out here, like right here. They would do the sacrifice. So how is it that on this day, on this feast day, the 3-year-old virgin, Mother of God, 3-year-old virgin, Mother of God, led by a whole line of virgins, carrying little tapers, to go live in the temple. They had virgins living in the temple. How is it that she not only processes with them up to the steps, she dances up the steps, and then she goes behind everybody, including the high priest. Zechariah it says, how did it say it in there? He was out of his mind, beside himself. Beside himself, like he was in an ecstasy. And he just kind of escorted her into the Holy of Holies. A 3-year-old girl. How is that possible? That's the feast we celebrate today. She, who now, and this is where we're getting to, who is now the new Holy of Holies. The old is gone now. We wash away the old, especially with the coming of Christ and all his work, but even as a prefiguring of that. The Holy of Holies, the Mother of God, the new Holy of Holies, dances right into the old Holy of Holies. And it's like a give and take. She transforms it. Of course, it is a transformative place in and of itself. And so you're in this in-between time where the Holy of Holies goes to dwell in the Holy of Holies. That's the teaching. That's the theology. So, now what happens? Now, at the coming of Christ, when about 10 years down the road, when the archangel comes to visit her, etc., now you have a transformation. Now you have the new Holy of Holies not only being prepared and being ready, but being specified as the womb of the Mother of God. You see that icon way in the top, in the back there? That icon is called the She who is more spacious than all the heavens. Because now, not only do we have God dwelling, how could God dwell in a little box, or in a little tent, or in a little room? Now, how can He dwell physically, not just His spiritual presence, but physically in the little circumscribed womb of a young woman? How is it possible? That's why we say, He who could not be contained by all the heavens and all the universe is now contained in a little small place like that. Mystery. Don't try to figure it out. It's one of the major mysteries of our faith. It's because God can do whatever He wishes. The order of nature is overcome because He does whatever He wishes, whenever He wishes, and especially whenever we beseech Him. And especially if He discerns that we need it. Suspend natural order. Suspend natural bodily, physical order. And make something amazing happen. Something amazing happen. And this was like the little beginning of it. She goes into the Holy of Holies there to dwell and prepare herself to receive Christ in her womb. Now, on this great feast day, we celebrate the maidens. All the maidens, especially the Mother of God, but all the maidens who were with her too. Because, like in the Jewish beginning, the Jewish, forerunner, all the women, all the maidens, right, they were blessed. They were blessed because they were pure. They were blessed because they were chaste. They were blessed because they were holy. And they gave themselves during those early years up to Christ, or up to God in the temple. And especially, how did they all understand this idea of a 3-year-old girl? You've seen 3-year-old girls. You've seen, even my grandchildren, they run around. They were just playful. She was playful into the Holy of Holies. A holy playfulness, a holy joy, a holy innocence, a holy chastity. So now, today, we celebrate our virgin maidens. I think it's important in the year 2021, in this year, like in these days, in this climate, to celebrate the purity and the holiness of our young women. I wish you could all be here. How come everybody's not here, but you touch them next time you see them. You give them the blessing. The blessing of purity, which we're going to have right now. We're going to sing the processional song. Then you proceed up and we'll do a little blessing. Okay. We celebrate purity, innocence, holiness, chastity, and true love of God.